It has been 7 years since I was last active in the Sonic fandom, and from the looks of things, I'm not leaving anytime soon. At this point, it might be more of a special interest and a hyperfixation, but that's not the point of this video. Recently, I did some digging into my Sonic fandom past and rediscovered my first ever Sonic OCs. From the artwork to the stories, it was a terrifying sight to behold. So, in a moment of genius, I decided to redesign all of them and rewrite their backstories. So, without further ado, may the reconstruction of my cringe OCs begin. My first OC was named Lavender based on her fur color. Long story short, she was a hedgehog with super speed and lightning powers, because of course she was. I wasn't very original back then. I also didn't notice at the time how similar she was to Blaze the cat, so a big change in this redesign will be her quill physics to help differentiate her from the purple feline. Additionally, I have decided to completely change her lore. When originally constructing this character, I was not aware of the existence of Terros the Hedgehog, and have decided to utilize the potential with this character. Instead of Lavender having a weird lightning scar that disappears when she uses her powers, she will now have a permanent lightning scar that only glows red when her powers activate. Furthermore, I decided it best to completely lean into the AU potential of this character and have her be one of the 5 previously failed editions of Project Shadow, kind of like our boy Terros. Now, more of the specifics. Lavender's new name will now be Ira, short for the Latin word iracundia, which translates to wrath. Ira's connection to Wrath and Red is nothing new, but instead of Wrath being connected just because of red lightning, her red lightning powers will now be because she was created with the help of the Red Chaos Emerald, and only the Red Chaos Emerald. As a result, she gained Chaos Energy powers that result in her lightning fast speed, and other powers I haven't decided on yet. However, due to them magically awakening one day at random, she must get a knockoff set of inhibitor rings to keep her stable. Originally, this character didn't have any flaws, and most definitely was a Mary Sue. So to avoid a repeat of history, Ira is a failed version of Project Shadow because she possesses a health condition I also possess in real life. Equinus deformity bilateral ankles, or short Achilles tendons. This means if she runs too much or too fast, she will experience a large range of symptoms that make running harder. In other words, I'm completely projecting onto her. When it comes to other appearance changes, her entire fit needed a massive glow up, but I wanted to keep her color scheme the same as in previous designs, so I decided to give her a ruffled skirt and incorporate cute blue bows throughout her outfit. Furthermore, instead of her f***ass sneakers and basic gloves, she has been upgraded to cute red boots she can apparently run in, let's just say they're athletic boots, and fingerless gloves. Finally, there is her emerald-shaped hair clip, which is linked to her lore. Basically, because she was made with the use of the Red Chaos Emerald, her hair clip allows her to store and better harvest its energy. However, this is something Ira does not know about until it accidentally happens. Furthermore, with the emerald equipped, her powers grow much stronger, but the power is not equal to that of a super transformation which she is incapable of accessing. I think that wraps up Ira. Next up is my second ever Sonic OC, Frost. At the time I designed him, I was obsessed with the idea of a natural werehog, but decided over time that it was way too much on top of ice powers. Similar to Ira, his story is also being completely nixed. Sorry, Frost. Like in past iterations of this character, Frost will still be Frost and he will still be a wolf. However, after looking at other wolf characters, such as Whisper the Wolf, it became clear either his fur color had to change or his muzzle color did. I decided it would be most appealing if his fur was darker than his muzzle, since blue is a more wild color than, say, Whisper's soft blonde. Furthermore, this iteration of Frost also shares a sibling bond to Ira, him being like the older sibling in the relationship. It is very much a Sonic adopted Tails scenario, but unlike Sonic, Frost has a consistent parental figure who also looks after them. Furthermore, I decided Frost would be a Tails fanboy, so I thought it'd be cool if he had Tails' logo tattooed onto his shoulder. This also allowed me to come up with a better idea for his powers besides snow, leading me to settle on these kinetic gloves that are powered by movement, specifically kinetic energy. So instead of being Elsa, Frost is now Wolverine, and the tech-savvy one in the house. Now, did he make Ira's inhibitor rings? No, at least not alone. But he does become her #1 mechanic, and is always her #1 fan. Finally, to add some extra zest, and because I love the Sonic is trans mask headcanon, I decided Frost would be trans mask from this point onward. Going back to Frost and Ira's bond, they met when Ira was about 12, making Frost 14. During their meeting, Ira said she was searching for her parents, but couldn't find them anywhere, so Frost helped her look. After a long search with no results, Frost suggested asking his mother for support, which eventually led to Frost's mother giving Ira a place to stay. After months of no news, and Ira appearing fine with the results, she chooses to stay with Frost's family. Unknown to any of them at the time, the reason Ira could not find her parents is because she never had any to begin with, since she is a prototype of Project Shadow. However, Frost and Ira did not learn of this until about 4 years later. 2 OCs down, 1 to go. Finally, we have my edgiest character from my early Sonic days, Stormmy, a black cat with an attitude. Similar to Lavender, Stormmy also had lightning powers for some reason, but instead of red lighting, she had dark blue. Ooh, so edgy. So just like with Lavender, we're going to completely change Stormy's name and also make her a failed prototype of Project Shadow. Everyone say goodbye Stormy and hello Nova, short for Renovatio, Latin for revolution and renewal. And while we're at it, goodbye Hot Topic and hello Rival. Similar to Sonic and Shadow, I want Nova to take the role of Iroha's rival, especially since, unlike Iroha, who I decided to give my health issues to, Nova is nearly perfect. I also decided because of almost being perfect, Nova would also have the first iteration of Air Shoes. Design-wise, I wanted Nova to give off a mix of Shadow and Rouge vibes in the sense that she is introverted and thoughtful along with charming and attractive. So to separate her from her previous edgelord self, I decided she would be a pink lynx that dresses in dark and bright teals and gold. Additionally, instead of being linked to dark blue lighting, she will now be connected to the teal Chaos Emerald and have matching Chaos energy. Finally, Nova's new abilities. Unlike Iroha's super speed, Nova can only go as fast as her air shoes allow, but to make up for it, her Chaos abilities allow her to alter and manipulate any and all kinds of technology, making her a perfect assistant to Dr. Eggman. While Nova is trying to find out who or what she is, which seems like a reasonable mission for anyone who recently woke up inside of a test tube hidden in an abandoned warehouse, she crosses paths with Eggman, who says he can help her if she helps him. Additionally, I want her to cross paths with Terrorist the Hedgehog, who I want to make mute and speak in sign language in this AU. Since Terrorist helped spark many solutions to my characters and their backstories, I feel like I'm required to include him. So similar to Shadow and Rouge, I want Nova and Terrorist to be besties in this AU. And with that, all my Sonic OCs from 7 years ago are redesigned and the world rewritten. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you want to keep up with my future uploads, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you have any questions about any of my precious children, I'd love to talk to you more about them in the comments. Take care, and see you next time!